favorite things to eat, which is chili. I love chili. Chili may not like me some of it. That's okay.
I don't know if this looks good. We're trying these new things out, hoping that you can see here. It's a good thing I have something underneath my shirt because that would not be a pretty scene.
I don't know.
And I was just telling her, wearing these things, I hope I don't pull like a big fat Greek wedding, when the girl, she's walking.
She was on the phone.
Yeah, the headset.
Yes, that was hilarious.
Because I have a tendency to walk away from this. So let's see.
I do it with my cell phone. Or I get stuck on the knobs. When you have your little earbud thingies on and it's not the wireless ones, and I'm walking and I'm like, and the whole phone. Yeah, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
So awesome. Exciting. So now, of course, we're into healthy eating and just making alternative choices to what we would have normally done maybe in the past. So the recipe that Deborah found was for pumpkin chili. But of course, we are getting into the kabocha or kabocha. Every time we say it. Yeah, so we're just finding different ways to cook with it. And it's because it's so amazingly healthy. And it helps you in so many different ways. Plus, what are some nutritional facts about it?
So one of the things was it has less calories than pumpkin. And I mean, you can use pumpkin and stuff. I have actually a can over here because I thought, we might use this, but then kabocha has become our new best friend.
Yes.
So for a half a cup of this, it's 50 calories. And for a half a cup of the kabocha, it's 39. And then also, I think it was 9.3 carbs for kabocha. In here, it's 10. So, I mean, it saves on calories, but then you also have fiber in here, 4 grams of fiber. And I'd have to look up on
kabocha is soluble fiber. That's really good. It's got vitamin C, vitamin A. It actually has zinc in it, vitamin B. So there is a lot of health benefits in the kabocha. I know that one of the things that it had said was it's one of the best, we'll say best, but it's a great way to get that fiber in. So if you're not one who likes to eat a lot of vegetables, this is a great way to incorporate having fiber or soluble fiber in your meal. And soluble fiber is one of the things that helps you get rid of the waste. And that's a key to staying healthy and being fit, is to get rid of all that waste.
Yes. So, well, that's, I'm excited because I actually had some leftovers last week and I ate it with one of my meals and stuff. And I thought, oh my goodness, for Thanksgiving, I love squash. And it's gonna replace the squash for Thanksgiving. So definitely. It's great that we found this.
Yes. All right. So what are we looking at
now?
now?
We're gonna get started.
Yeah.
And I used it does say that you can use ghee instead for cooking the meat in your Instapot. We're using everything with Instapot today. And I'm telling you,
can't probably see it.
My best friend lately, because fast, quick, easy, and good for you recipes, and my family loves it. So I made fly by the seat of my pants, girl, and that's not always helpful. Meals that need to be. Anyway, you can use ghee, but another option is the coconut oil or coconut oil. Just I chose that one. And shout out to Pampered. It's Pampered Chef here. Yes, Pampered Chef. This thing. So we're using 2 tablespoons of the coconut oil, and you press on it and see how it comes up.
You know what this reminds me of? Those
push pops.
Push pops for kids. That's what that reminds me of. Oh, so I'm going to push pop it in here. Yeah. What are we setting this at?
I am putting it on saute so that you can pick it up and use that knife.
Use this knife to scrape it off. All right.
Oh, see it's saying it's on.
Okay, so what are we sauteing?
Okay, for to start, we're going to saute. It does call for ground beef, but because we're trying to make this healthy, I'm using 99% fat-free ground turkey. You can use ground chicken, 99% fat-free also, but this is what I grabbed. That's it. So,
Yeah, great. So what do we do? Are we waiting for this to melt or are we gonna just throw this in here?
we can wait for that to melt. You can swish it around a little bit. And in the meantime, I am going to get another cool thing. I'm hoping that I can reach back here without doing that little thing. This is another, if you want to use a spoon.
Yeah, I was looking for some spoons. That'll work.
Okay. Anyway, this is another tool that is one of my favorites. And shouting out to Camper shoveling it today. But anyway, this will break up your meat really quickly. So that'll be something that Diana can use.
That's great. And you know what? I love kitchen utensils, like the different things that they have to use. I mean, who thought of this? This is great. I mean, really. And then you don't have to get your hands all in it. You know what I mean? And so how much turkey are we using?
We are using 1 pound.
Okay, 1 pound of turkey. Now, for those of you who are beef lovers, you can use beef and you can look for the lower fat, like they do have beefs that are lower grass-fed
It's
beef.
96%
Yeah.
fat free or
So,
something.
so you can do that if you like beef as opposed to chicken or turkey.
Or if you want full fat, go for it.
I'm going to tell you what, this coconut oil smells amazing. But one day they will invent smell-o-vision. I'm telling
I
you.
know, this is great.
Because I love, okay, so that looks like it's great. Good. And so we're gonna drop that in there and then we're gonna let that fry up a little bit. So while we're frying this up, do you want to take care of this piece?
Yes, so this, it's called the 1 bell pepper. Now, I don't know if anybody has one of these. It's called a mandolin. Let me tell you. Nice little thing here. So I had already chopped up half of it. So see, it chopped it up into little tiny pieces. You use this.
Oh, I
So,
like that. Another.
Those fun tools and stuff that you can do. So I'm gonna just cut this pepper up a little bit so that it's not as big, so that we can chop it. It does make a little noise here, but
And with the mics, since we're trying this out, we are so not sure what it's gonna sound like. So
Yeah.
just to warn you
bear
ahead
with
of
us.
time.
We're doing trial and error, but you know what? We just want to be real for you guys, and so
And we would love your feedback. Like,
absolutely.
definitely. And thank you those who have subscribed, who have encouraged us, viewed. Please share us with friends. And again, we're really interested in hearing what you have to say about the meals, or if there's something that you're interested in seeing done. I know I spoke with someone this weekend and they were talking about kind of having some ideas for lunch because they go to lunch. They don't want to go to lunch, start bringing their lunch. So this chili would be perfect for that type of situation. You make it ahead of time and then you can pack it up so you have something for lunch. So that would be great. Let's see.
So I'm just looking. This is the recipe book that I'm using. Her name is Maria Rich. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I picked up this recipe book, and it has. I've used a lot of them, and I haven't found anything that has been not good. But I'm just looking because she had said to do something different. I had looked online for the recipe, so this is what it will look like. We're done. But she did something different. She was talking about, okay, so we're going to put all this stuff in, and then I decided instead of using regular onions, one of the things that on our program, because we're trying to incorporate everything and just eating healthy. But on our program, we're not to have onions right now, but that's okay. So I have onion powder to replace it, and I put it in here. I think it was 1 onion would be 1 tablespoon of onion powder. So she's done a great job of cooking this stuff, I'm like, hey, you do this over here.
But yeah, so onions, with the onions, you can use onions if you are are not on any kind of program, because this again is just a healthy way of eating. You can use onions. You can even use sweet onions like Vidalia onions. I mean, cooking is just that. Cooking is like, to me, a creative way of expressing yourself. Some people love spicy, some people can't stand it. Some people like sweet. So just what you think, there's a base here. We've got a base going on, and you can add to that base, or you can kind of take away, but you always want to try to replace what you take away from it with something that is comparable for your dish. And just experiment with it. I mean, there are so many different things that you can do. And with chili, I feel like you can't go wrong. You know,
Yeah,
chili's
no,
like one of those
you can't.
things that you just add stuff in a pot and you just can't go wrong. Okay, this looks like, I love this thing. It really does work. I mean, you've got to see it. Just think about all the scraping you would have done with your spatula.
And it chops it up. I mean, besides taking a knife or something like that to break up the meat, and you don't want big chunks of meat in your chili. Well, maybe some people do, but I choose not to,
Yeah, definitely.
But,
all right, I think we're good to go now. That's perfect.
Okay,
So
sweet.
what were we doing now?
So now we're going to add the bell pepper right
Okay.
here.
Great, and we're doing this whole bell pepper.
Yeah.
And what were we looking at? Can I use that spoon again? I want to scrape it all up.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm. So you're going to use one bell pepper, then we're going to use the onion powder,
All right.
and then garlic.
Now, mind you, you can change up this bell pepper and you can use red bell pepper, orange bell.
Yeah,
I mean, you can pretty much do any kind of pepper you like.
Smell-o-vision. This garlic is like,
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, next.
okay, so onion powder. And then we're gonna, it's 2 cloves of garlic, but half a teaspoon is one garlic. So we're gonna put 1 teaspoon.
And like, for those of you who are like into garlic, you probably, I mean, just want to, gauge yourself, but you probably use more. Again, wow, that is that is really good. Okay, next.
And we're gonna saute that for a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, it says until the onion is soft, which is kind of funny because we don't have to worry about the onion. So
Here we go.
okay. Okay. Oh, I did this totally backwards. This is a blooper, I guess, because we're supposed to do the vegetables first and then add the meat. I did it.
Well, that's okay because the vegetables will cook down.
Yeah.
As the meal cooks. A lot of times, especially with onions and garlic, when you're using the raw form, as you cook, it releases all of the flavor. So right now, because we've incorporated the powder forms and they already minced the garlic and have it sitting and the oils, it's already released.
Yeah, so that's really good. So we are putting in it's 14 ounces. And then it does call for 2 cans of diced green chilies, but I didn't have that. But I love Rotel, so I end up using this a lot. So
and Rotel has like this is original, but they've got like mild and they have hot. So depending on how you want to spice up your chili, right?
Right. And also that's one of the things when you're cooking. But that's the best thing. You can improvise. You don't have to. You can stay on task pretty much on with the recipe, but with baking you can't divert at all.
Yeah, baking is very precise science there.
Okay, and so then we're going to add. It's called for 1 can of pumpkin puree, but again we use the kabocha, so I looked up what the amount is, and
right,
2 cups minus 1 tablespoon.
And you can always, if you want to puree it, you can put it in a food processor or in a blender to make it even smoother. We kind of like having that more chunky texture. It's almost like potatoes. I mean, truthfully.
It is. Okay, and then so I got my little broth, my beef broth, 1 cup of broth.
Okay.
And interesting thing, so I have a teapot that is an instant hot teapot. Let me tell you, that has been a really great investment. You just put water in it, put it on its little base, push it down, and within minutes, it's hot. It's it's really cool. So
Yes.
my little tips and tricks and stuff. Okay, and then we're going to add the chili powder and the cinnamon, which is
Wow.
1 teaspoon of each.
Yes,
Yep.
I love that cinnamon taste with the chili. Oh my
Mhm.
goodness, what a flavor! Now, she was just saying that it was interesting that you were talking about that, the kettle
Oh, the
teapot.
Yeah.
I have this past weekend. We are definitely into our community and serving the community, and because were geared towards the cooking. We just love the fact that we want to go out to the community and just support. So there is a ministry called Whole Way Ministries, and we'll add them to as a link so that you can go and check them out. But they support our local community here in Hampton Roads. And then, what are we doing?
Just a little bit of black pepper. It's
Okay.
on there and some salt.
All
Sorry, I didn't
right.
mean to interrupt. But
No, that's okay.
but Whole Weight Ministries, they have done some great things, and they are reaching out to people. They do street church, and they do so much more.
Yeah,
Diane's been a part of it longer.
no, you're fine. They have an event, which is kind of almost like a biweekly thing, and it's open to the community, and it's called Open Table, which I love that Open Table, and it's just representing the heart of Christ to people and feeding them and providing clothing and just different resources. So the reason why the kettle thing came up is I was helping some friends who were cooking for the event, and I never knew this. So they boiled, excuse me, from the peppers, they boiled, they used the kettle to boil the water because they were making spaghetti noodles. And it helped expedite the cooking of the noodles. And I was like, oh my gosh, I would have never thought of that.
That's nice.
So it was a great idea. But yeah, again, this month on November 15th, it is actually Philanthropist Day. And so those of you who don't know what philanthropy is, it looks great. She's giving,
And I'm going to turn this on.
oh, here you go.
No, you're
Yeah.
doing
Yes.
great.
The Instapot is a wonderful thing.
I'm going to have her talk about this because I want you guys to hear.
I mean,
more
it
about
cooks things so quickly. Like, how much time is this once you get it set?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. So for those of you who are, and this is ahead of time cooker, because think about it, chili, like normally when I make chili, I'll put it in a crock, because you can do this in a crock pot also. I'll put it in a crock pot and I'll let it set over time. We eat the chili that night, but the next day, I don't know why, leftover chili tastes so much better the next day. So this is a prepare ahead kind of thing that you can do, and then have it for the week, put it in the refrigerator, or for that night, you can get it ready for that night. It's really quick, especially if you work or you have a busy schedule and you have the kids, or even just if you're at home and it's just you can make it more for a single serve type of situation. You just break the recipe down for single serve. So yeah, so in regards to the ministry, what were we talking about?
The Whole Weight Ministry. It's just the hot water with the noodles.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is the greatest thing about this show, is that it's like you coming to our house and this is what we have to. It's live. In that sense, we're being real. So yes, but philanthropy. Yes, philanthropy day. So that's pretty much like philanthropy is giving, is another word, big word for being a giver and giving to the community, giving, supporting others who are in need, supporting source. So it can be in so many different ways. To me, giving is just not monetary. It's your giving of your time, giving of your love, giving of your experience. There's those who can mentor others and help in that way. So there's so many different ways that can happen for you. But yeah, so I just say, please take a look at Whole Way Ministries. We'll add it in, again, we'll add it in the comments below when we publish this segment. And then also, when you check out their website, you'll see the need that they have out there. They're doing Thanksgiving boxes this year. And so they're providing the turkey in the box for our family, which I think is so amazing, because they're, with everything that happened recently with COVID and people losing their jobs and things like that, and just life being just upheaval, I think Thanksgiving is just going to be such a wonderful time this year, because it's going to draw people together, bring families together, maybe that didn't get a chance last year to go see each other.
Mhm.
They're going to be able to do it this year. So yeah, so get out there, support your community, love on the people around you, and just have it in whatever way, whatever way that you do it. It doesn't have to be about the money. It's just you giving of yourself and your time and your talents. So yeah.
I'm excited just to be a part of this, and if you can't give of your time to serve, you can also donate food or donate money, and then that'll be on the website of how that money was used. And there's so many people out there when they do street church and stuff, just the people and talking to the people and their needs. And I've only been once, but I was affected by that one time. Just being able to pray for people and talk to them and hear their story, because sometimes, I ended up meeting somebody whose brothers were homeless, but they chose to be, which is kind of interesting. But there's a lot of people out there. This is not their choice. This is not something that they had seen themselves down the road, I'm sure. They probably had a house and then circumstances happen and then their needs are not met. And we even talked to somebody outside. I think it was Leo. Remember that couple?
Yes.
They it was a mom and a dad and 3 kids, and they were staying in a hotel room. And they were kind of asking for handouts because they couldn't get their bearings. And you know what? We've all been there in the place of not our expectations not being met, or not getting the job that we thought we were going to get, or just there's a whole bunch of examples of not knowing where our next whatever, and it may come in different forms, but it's also, I think y'all have a similar story. And I've never been homeless, but I've also not known where we were going to next. So it's kind of a I don't know.
Yeah, it's a humbling experience. There's just so much when I see people, especially in this situation, and even if it's self-imposed situation, because sometimes we do that. But it doesn't change the fact that they are they want love, they want to be accepted, they want all the same things we want. Maybe their life took a turn that didn't happen. It doesn't change the fact that they are lovable, that they are that they have they're wanted, they have worth, they have talents, they have gifts. They may not be utilizing them right then, but it doesn't change who they are in that respect. So it's great to see how hungry the community is. They're really just hungry. And in the Bible, it talks about when I was hungry, you fed me. It's talking about meeting the need of the people, and it's all the way around. It's not just meeting like I'm going to pray for you, which is great, but it's also helping them. It's kind of like that adage when they say, if you teach, if you give people fish, that's great, but if you teach them how to fish. So in community, in developing relationships with people, we're not just going out there to not just to bring a one-time thing. This is building relationships. This is being real with them and understanding their circumstances and not judging them by them. We're not judging them by their circumstances. We're loving them as the person that they are, God's creation. And so that's how we love them. So just sharing our heart. This is like a real piece of our heart. And, just where we're at right now in the season of our lives and what we're doing and where God has us. I can speak to the fact of you never know what's going to happen the next day, and circumstances can change and your whole life can change in an instant. And there's many of you out there who have gone through some tragedy, who have gone through some life altering experiences, and you're on the other side of that. That right there is valuable because you can encourage others. You made it through. Encourage someone else today. Let them know that this isn't the end. Like there's more for them. And that this is just one day at a time. We take it one day at a time. And today has its own worries. So, so just encourage you guys in that. Like, like just love on one another, because we don't know what tomorrow will bring. So yeah, great.
And it's also not living in regrets, you know, and
Oh yeah.
what could have, should have. You know, thinking of that mindset. You know, I just going through things this year and realizing that life is, for lack of a better fleeting, you know, it's, you just don't even realize how much, you know, we value people and telling them that we love them and that, you know, we are so appreciative of who they are. And, you know, so I, it's really changed my outlook on a lot of things. Just going through life and seeing all what could be, what could have been, but, you know, but saying, you know what, that's in the past. Nothing you can do to change it now, right?
Yeah. Tomorrow's tomorrow. Today's today, and yesterday is yesterday. So we don't want to live in the past. There might be effects of our past that affect our current situation or going forward, but there's always hope. You know, our hope, as we see it, Jesus Christ, our followers. And so our hope is in the Lord. His hope is never fleeting, it's always eternal. And so even though times may be hard and things, you know, get us down, sometimes we know that we have a good Father. And so from that, see what's in front of us. It's okay. Like we don't always know what's to come, but there's always that place of being able to know that God's, you know, God's in control and He's going to help us. He's going to get us through, and we can call out to Him and trust Him. So yeah, it is definitely a different way of living. But again, you can have joy in the times where there is hardship and tragedy and sorrow. Joy can come. This joy doesn't come from a feeling. You know, it's just a place of, I see joy as being a part of His gift for us, to be able to be joyful in the midst of us. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a different way to think. This is good. So it's finally stopped. So we're now within just 5 minutes. 5 minutes of time. So, yes.
So this is like a pressure cooker, right? Yeah. So the Instant Pot is amazing because it has so many different settings. Like, I mean, going from porridge, rice, I think
Porridge.
right?
Go figure.
And then cake. You can do cake with the eggs. I mean, I love cooking in stew. Stew is one of the best things to cook in here. So like my family, they're meat eaters. And they love their meat. So I'll cook a good stew really quick. Just think about how long you have to prepare the meat for a stew and the fact that it's breaking those fats down. And this does it so much quicker. I've done chicken in here. I've done chicken. I've done the teriyaki in this. So there's so many different things that you can do.
Right.
Yeah. In an Instapot. And again, it's just it's a lot quicker. And these are one of the neat gadgets that we use and we're going to be using the fryer. Yes. So just a lot of good stuff.
And the difference. So my brother's mom, she uses a real pressure cooker, and let me tell you, I've been over there when she's cooked beans, and that thing, I'm like, I don't trust it because you see that little thing taking, it's gonna fall off. So I definitely love it, and I've made meatloaf in there. So you put the little potatoes on the bottom, then you put it's a little grate thing, and then you put your little pocket of tin foil. It usually takes about an hour.
Yeah, for me.
And
I
think it's 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's so great.
I've done eggs in there.
Have you? Wow. Now I haven't done eggs. I haven't gotten that far with it. I do more of the heartier meat kind of recipes because I know it doesn't take that long. Yeah, my friend. So I'm dropping names. I'm dropping names today. I have a friend, her name's Rick, and her mom. That she had all of the pressure cooker stuff, and I remember that, like hearing that whistle and the little and everything. And I never understood that, but she cooks old school. And she makes a lot of old school recipes using old school tools. So I love that. I love, so like whatever way, this is a little bit more quicker and convenient, of course, but whatever way you choose to do it is great. I mean, just the fact that you're in the kitchen cooking. And I think that's a thing, like in the beginning when I was thinking about cooking. Because I look at the end product. And so just recently I and I say learn how to cook, I knew how to cook, but just really to cook healthy and just to see what I was putting into my body. Like I would have never, I mean, come on. Who looks at this stuff, right? I wouldn't have read a label. I wouldn't have thought about this that much fat. But my body and what I looked like and how I felt health-wise and what was going on with me, yeah, that kind of didn't read labels. But now I feel that it's important when you start to have a healthy lifestyle and change. How people look at it as a limitation, or as they look at it as like, oh, you're restricting yourself, and really unempowering myself to make decisions. Yes, can I eat that physically? I can eat as much food as I want. Is it going to be something, for my body, for me? No, because I've been there, done that. And so this empowers me to make choices. Like anything, I make choices. Good choices, and I wouldn't call that. Yeah, now we're doing 3 minutes. Well, I'm going to compare. I'll tell you where I was at. So I was got married, and one of the things my family was and I feel the fire to see, and I had hot dogs, so you can match. Yeah. So anyway, that was a big joke. Oh, what a, and so anyway, for my shower, one of my cousins, that's about all the cooking that I could do. So that was a big joke. So now I am never cook. And and my family, yes, they will entertain to say that, but yeah. So that was my lovely story. But it's been, me and my husband have been together 34 years, so that's I mean, just actually a couple of days ago was 33 years. So it's one of those things. But anyway, I wanted to share. So yesterday I ended up. We were talking about things that we could do flowers, and I ended up Sarah, and so I haven't tried it yet. I will wait for her, but I want to tell you the smells, and she's going to tell you. It's good. So this is a ginger ale, hence it is a drink. And one of the, oh my gosh, ginger, it has so many great health benefits in it, and it is delicious on top of it. Now, mind you, ginger does have, what kind of taste would you say? Bitter, spicy. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a spicy taste around, spicy taste to it. And this has got lemons, ginger, and also peels and juice of 2 lemons. Wow. It's got swerve confectionants, and remember again, we're going more on the healthy side, so we're using an alternative to sugars. And then it has, let's see, a quart of carbonated water plus more food serving. So a quart of carbonated water, you can buy them already made up in the store. There's this really cool, again, a kitchen appliance that makes the fizzy water for you. So I have a soda stream. Soda stream, yes. Bless me. Okay, so we are. Let that sit for. Let it sit for a few minutes while we're doing this. We could release it. Sometimes it does say that you can release it ahead of time, but we're doing this week for hot. For those of you who are counting calories, this is 19 calories. only 0.2 grams of fat, 1 protein, 5 carbs, and a gram of fiber. So this is really good. So you're going to combine the ginger and the lemon juice in a food processor, which looks like she's already taken care of that here. She's also, let's see,
I
now
put
she's
it in the crock pot.
okay.
I ended up putting it.
Oh. So let's talk about some benefits. I'm not drinking alcohol, sorry. The benefits. Actually, ginger helps with nausea and tummy cramps after surgery. Chewing ginger gum post-surgery helps overcome nausea. Gas, okay. Now we gotta be real here. We're eating chili. Now normally chili's gonna have beans and stuff in it. And I love the kabocha, kabocha. So this, look at how we pair that together. We have some gas. So yeah, ginger helps with gas, joint pain. It is again another anti-inflammatory. So that's a wonderful. It's got anti-inflammatory properties. You can also use it for congestion. And I know like ginger tea, like when I'm sick, I drink ginger and soup. I like to drink ginger soup. Again, mentioning my friend Ruth, she is a big into holistic medicines and just doing the natural remedies. And so that's one of the things she'll tell me. And she's awesome. She's Filipina, and she does a lot of Filipina dishes with that. Yeah, so it's really, really good. It also helps with your to increase production of digestive. So if you have indigestion, you can use sugar. And these are a few. There's probably several out there. And again, we'll provide the recipe for you so that you can see exactly how to do this. Let's see, this says then you place the ginger puree, lemon peels, sweetener, and water in a 3-quart slow cooker. And that's what she was talking about doing. That smells so good. Lemon and ginger is in it.
I had strained some of this today, but strainer had it wasn't a great strain, but I got a lot of pulp out and stuff, so we just need a double.
So, okay, so it says you do it for 4 to 8 hours. When you're cooking, cook on a high for 4 to 8 hours. And then the longer, the better, it says. So, of course, the longer, the better. And then you're going to, after that, you turn off the slow cooker and allow it to cool for like an hour in the refrigerator, which she did. And then you stir in the ginger syrup, which that's what she has in here. And then you pour through the strainer. Of course, we've already done that. And now we're adding carbonated water. And this one has a flavor to it. Am I correct?
It does. It's Honeycrisp apple because I forgot to get because I used the regular.
The combinations can be awesome. So this is a great fall drink for those of you who this is non-alcoholic. So this can also be served to children. And so this is a great, and look at that. This is since I just touched that. I think there you go. Nice one. And so, look, I always see pictures of everything. And at some point, we're going to get professional here. But definitely, this is a beautiful drink right here. Okay.
All right.
So here we go. Salud. Cheers. Tastes so good.
Oh, really taste the ginger. I mean, it's going down my throat. It's really free. Not feeling well or whatever. Yes, and just be able to. It's not sweet at all, but swerve, which was like, I think the lemon.
This is a very
Yeah.
And with the apple crisp, it brings a different flavor to it. So it has because this is not sweet, it gives that undertone. It's such a ball drink, right? This is a ball drink.
So I figured, you know what, nice. I think we would, you know,
And you can put it on ice. You can get rub ice and if you want it to be really cold. But for me, I love it. Yeah, I like ginger, so I like that bite. Ooh, I touched the mic. Sorry. So we're totally getting ready to serve up some of this really good chili. Ready to woo.
it's gonna be a lot.
Be careful because that steam is hot.
We're gonna have just little tasters here. Little taste testers. So this will be good. I am gonna get a little bit of cheese to put on here. I think I'm gonna take this off because you want me to get the cheese.
I probably
Can you
reach
reach?
it. I can reach the cheese.
This is
Now the cheese options that we do have. Remember
we usually do the 2% cheese. It's a a little bit lighter and stuff, and we only put probably about an ounce on it. And with this, we don't even need that much. Okay, so reduce fat.
And it's cheddar. It's sharp cheddar. I love cheddar, like sharp cheese the better.
Oh, the cheddar.
The cheddar. And you can also do now. You can do sour cream, a dollop of sour cream. You can add light avocado to it, slices of avocado for those of you who like avocado. You can dice. You can actually do a some hot sauce. So
Okay.
wow, now that's amazing. At some point, we're going to get really great at filming this, so you guys can see. Okay, so I just want you to check that out. It's
Thank you. Probably more than an ounce.
and so you can add like instead of now I know people who don't use sour cream and use plain Greek yogurt.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So
And you know what? Another quick tip is if you want this a little bit thicker, which I mean, it looks pretty thick and stuff. My family likes it thick. You need to put like a tablespoon of water, tablespoon of cornstarch. Just kind of mix that in, and it'll make it a little bit thicker. Or like she said, putting some yogurt. Or some, another thing is putting like a tablespoon or a quarter of a cup or something of light. Yeah, and that'll thicken it up too. So
definitely. Okay, here we go. It's really hot, but I wanted to. So. Oh my goodness. Is that great? Like all the flavors. They've got, you can taste the cinnamon.
Oh, yeah.
You can taste the chili. And the kabocha and
The tomatoes, and it's got a little bit of, I don't know if the kick is from that or but my throat's burning. Oh, just a tad, but it's a good burn. It's not a over.
And for those of you now, this is very mild actually. The chili's mild. So those of you who would want to spice it up, you could add jalapenos to it.
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce, yeah. So I would be one that does the hot sauce in it. Yeah, jalapenos. You could do fresh jalapenos, or you can have or you can do the jalapenos. Jalapenos and add to that. So some people we're like a chili bar family. So we like to have the cheese and the sour cream, the hot stuff, and just all kinds. And so for those of you who may be not as strict in regards to the eating part, you can have little tortillas. They have like the tortilla chips that you eat salads.
Oh, the fresh chips are really good too. If you're looking for lower fat. The other yeah, found them yet, but they were lower.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different options that you can do like topper, but by itself, it's perfect also. It's really good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, so much. Marshall, spending some time with us, making these delicious meals. We're very honored and privileged to do that. Again, we'll put all the information in regards to the history and recipe for both of these, for the drink and for our Kabocha chili, since we didn't do pumpkin. And yeah, so please make a comment below. Let us know what you think. Subscribe. We're on Instagram. We're going to be having a Facebook group that's going to be out there soon with recipes, a little bit more content out there for you. So
I'd like to be added to that. Yes, now it's been,
yeah, definitely. So we say be blessed and have a great week. Cheers.